Now, this is what he writes. V'chein yesh l'chol nefesh prati. Every individual soul, until now we're talking on the national level, but every individual soul is the same thing. Kishiyotze mishikua shalo, when he leaves the place into which he is sunk. Kishakadosh Baruch Hu ozo linafel mituma zu, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu helps him to be saved from whatever tumah he's in. Zel dugma yetzias Mitzrayim. This is analogous to Yetzias Mitzrayim. You know, a person can be sunk in all sorts of things. It could be tumah, it could be a type of aveira, it could be a situation, it could be a family situation. And we were just reminiscing about our good friend Aaron Ben Shatrit. I remember he said years ago, when he had that house on the Danforth, he said that was his prison. He lived in this neighborhood, had a house. He couldn't sell the house,
right?
And that was a prison. And when he was able to sell the house and move to the Yiddish Gegend, he lived in 120, right?
Moved up to 120.
Soulborn. That was like the happiest day of his life. Now, for many people, they would have said the opposite. He had a beautiful house there. Nice, big house, moved to a little apartment. He was the happiest person in the world. I don't know if everyone else was happy, but he was happy. The point is that it could be, not necessarily a tumah, it could be a situation. There's a situation where you're stuck, and this prevents you from achieving what you want to achieve in life, and you are totally removed from the situation. That's like Yetzias Mitzrayim. Valzehu mitzvahs zechiras Yetzias Mitzrayim. And listen to this. And that's why there's a mitzvah to remember the Yetzias Mitzrayim every day. Shemaskirin tamid b'chal yom v'layla. We remember every day, day and night. La'orer Yeshua zu, to arouse this salvation, shanu tzrichim la b'chal yom tamid, which we require every day. The ba'askara sanei shahaya kvar, because by remembering, by recalling the nace that once was, ma'orim zegam ata b'ayva, you can arouse such a salvation in the present. You have to believe. Right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends the Yeshua if you believe. If you don't believe, he doesn't send the Yeshua. So if a person is shakua, a person is sunk in a matzav, does he believe he can be saved? Well, if he doesn't believe he can be saved, then it's not going to happen. So, give me a motion. Let's have a person who lacks self-confidence. Right? That's his... And let's say he's in the worst profession in the world for a person who lacks self-confidence. He's a salesman. So he's meant to go out and sell. And he just doesn't have the push. He doesn't have the confidence to be able to stand behind his product, to be able to tell the person, I know you'll be happy. You know, I have to tell you, I'm not going to mention names, but we have Rosh Yeshiva that come here to visit, to recruit for the yeshivas in Eretz Yisrael. Some of them are more gentle people, some are more forceful people. But there was one that came, I won't say who it was, and this guy was talking about how good his yeshiva is, and how what the Bachman get out of his yeshiva, and what a good Rosh Yeshiva he is. It reminded me of something my Rosh Yeshiva once said. The Rosh Yeshiva once said that the biggest asset of a Rosh Yeshiva is to be able to look a bacher in the eye and say, you're going to grow from my shiurim. If you can't do that, you're out of business. Now the truth is that I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't look someone in the eye and say, you're going to get from my shiurim. So I have something else. I hired wonderful Rabbi, right? And I can look a bacher in the eye, or parents in the eye, and say that your son is going to grow from their shiurim, right? Which is the second best thing. But if it's a small operation, it's just like a one-man show, you have to be able to say, right? But what if you don't have that self-confidence? It's a terrible, terrible thing. So you have to believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, you can do it. You don't believe in yourself, you can't do it. So it's this way. You're in a situation, you're stuck, you're sunk in a situation. Right? Do you believe that you can be taken out of the situation? If you believe, then it can happen. If you don't believe, then it can't happen. So what's the precedent? What's the precedent of a person or a people being so shakua, sunk into a situation and being taken out? It's Yetzias Mitzrayim. So if you, every day, every morning, every evening, think, it's Yetzias Mitzrayim, it's Yetzias Mitzrayim, it can happen this, whatever it is. You have to believe. So it says Tzaddok an amazing thing. Then why do we remember Yetzias Mitzrayim twice a day? And the question that he's bothered by is, because it's certainly not because we benefit from Yetzias Mitzrayim, because there's been a lot of history since then. There's been Golos and Churban, right? In what way are we still enjoying the chayros that we achieved with Yetzias Mitzrayim? And when we get closer to Pesach, we'll see that there are answers to that question, other answers to that question. That in some very concrete ways, we are actually still benefiting from the experience of the Yetzias Mitzrayim. But it's certainly a kasha. Says the Tzaddok that what we're doing is we're reminding ourselves of the precedent. There's a precedent for a person who's shakua, who's sunk into the deepest blata, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes him out entirely. So we have to know that could be the case too, in our personal lives. That's one half of it. V'yesh Yeshua, but there's a salvation. HaKadosh Baruch Hu meir lo gam k'sheyoshev b'chayshech. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives him light even when he's sitting in the midst of the darkness. He doesn't take him out of the place of darkness and the shadow of death entirely. To bring him to the place of light. Even though he walks in the valley of the shadow of death, and he's sunk into whatever he's sunk into, Adayin still lo ira ra, he doesn't fear, ki ato imadi, because you got it with me. Da Hashem Yizbarach meir lo dover zeh, da ato imadi, HaKadosh Baruch Hu provides this light of the idea that you are with me, gam b'makom v'talmavos. D'zehu gam ken Yeshua Gedolah, this is a great Yeshua, a great salvation. Even a person who has not yet merited to emerge from the place where he is sunk, we call Malcolm, nevertheless, he's already saved in a sense. He's not scared of the evil that will befall him there. Now, as soon as you're in a situation, you can't get out of the situation. You can't get out of the situation. But you know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is helping you where you are. A person is in a bad marriage. So the Yetzias Mitzrayim type of Yeshua will be to escape the marriage entirely, to receive a get, etc. But let's say in the absence of that, let's say the woman has been abandoned, she's naguna, the get is not forthcoming, so she's still stuck in that very desperate matzav. But there are friends that help, family that helps, the children who are a source of happiness, and they give this person a life, even though the person is still shakua in the mess and isn't given the ability to emerge entirely. That's not a type of Yeshua. V'zeu neis de Purim, and this is the neis of Purim. The kate avdei Achashverosh. We are still the avadim of Achashverosh, the Gemara says. Right? Nothing really changed. Before Haman, we were Avodim Achashverosh. After the story, we were Avodim Achashverosh. Just in between, there was a death threat from which we were saved. But we're still not in an ideal situation. Uva Megillah, I think there's a Gemara lesson like this. The Gemara says the various Amoraim gave psichas, gave introductions to the Parshias of Megillah Esther. And it says, Reb Zeir Pasach al Pischa. He opened with the following Pasach in Ezra. Ki avodim anachnu, we are servants. Uva avdu seinu lo azavanu. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu did not abandon us as we were servants, while we were servants. So why is this the introduction to Megillah Esther? Because that's exactly the point. It wasn't the Yitzhak L'Cheves. We were avodim before, we are avodim after. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't abandon us there. We're still sunk. And we still have to be exiled and enslaved to the kings. We come up, and nevertheless, Hashem didn't abandon us. To give us light. Even when we're sunk where we are, Imkol said, nevertheless Hashem iman. Now, the point that Tzaddok is making is like this. Yetzias Mitzrayim gives us hope of a better day. Right? Things are bad now, but there's hope of a better day. Purim enables us to see the light in our present situation. It's not just hope of a better day. That's Yetzias Mitzrayim. Right? A person is sunk in a blota. Yetzias Mitzrayim gives him hope there can be a better day. So it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. You have to say it twice a day, because a person always has to have hope. But Purim enables us to see the light where we are. So I think that
bear goes.
To bear our current message, to see the good, to see the light, to see the positive in our being shakua and galus. And I think that's an aspect of Mishnichnas Adam Martin B'Simcha that differs more than Pesach. In other words, Pesach is hope. Like we say in the Haggadah, Hashata Haka, L'Shana Haba, Barad Yisrael. Hashata Avdi, L'Shana Haba, B'nei Chayveh. I mean, that really is the summation of what the Haggadah is. The Haggadah, the Seder, is hope. Right? We had this experience, and it gives us confidence that there can be a better future. Hope is a very important thing, but hope does not generate simcha. Hope generates hope, optimism. Right? Purim is different. Purim is more than that. Purim enables us to see that even when we are shakua in galus, Hashem is with us, as we explained. Because from the Purim story we see that it's not so much the salvation of Purim. It's after the salvation, we look back, we see that all the time we were in galus, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was pulling the strings. By the way, this is really the aymek of the Gemara. The Gemara says, brings a machlekes, whether you have to read the whole Megillah on Purim. There's one Madama, only stuff from Ish Yehudi, another Madama starts from Haman, another Madama from Balai Lahu. We pass can't read the whole Megillah. So why isn't it enough just to read the salvation? That's what I'm saying, because the Ikar Nakuda is not the salvation of Purim. The Ikar Nakuda is that the salvation of Purim sprouted from groundwork that had been laid while we were in Golus. And that is HaKadosh Baruch Hu's showing his love for us, even when it isn't so apparent. And therefore it's more than Yetzias Mitzrayim. Nissan is one level, but Mishnichnas Adam Marb B'Simcha is to be loved in such a way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is scheming and planning and working. Right? Even when we are shakua in Golus, that shows a love on his part which cannot, if we realize it, we only feel it, we would be so warmed by it that our lives would be different. That's the first part of Tzaddok. Now the hour is late, so maybe we'll save this for next week. Don't want to.
It's a curious.
It's not like the olden days where
Keep on going. Right?
We'll hold here, so you don't have to say the sheets. I'll print them up again, or if you want to give them back, I'll hold them, and we'll see another aspect of this next week.
It's a curious thing because in Mitzrayim, you start with a situation in which the Jew is the number 2 in the story, and you go downhill till you have to overthrow the government in a sense and get out. In Purim, in a sense, the goal is that the Jew becomes number 2, and you manage life in that situation. The comfort is that Haman is replaced by Mordechai at the end. Yeah, you're still subject to Ahasuerus, but it's a very different scenario when Mordechai is number 2 than when Haman is number 2.
Yeah, that's true. The Jews did not look at that as a positive thing.
I know.
All of them. It was not a simple thing. But I think that's really in life we really have to we're always complaining. I'm the worst offender. I'm also always complaining. Right? We're always complaining. But the truth is that there is a lot of positive in everybody's life.
It's easy for us to say about the Purim story because we have the luxury, if you want to use that word, or the comfort of knowledge of 20/20 hindsight. But in our own lives right now, as we're going through them, we don't have the luxury and the warmth of the 20/20 hindsight. We're in it now, and we're involved, and we don't see the forest because of the trees and all that.
You know,
so
let me say,
look back now and look back, but
Rabbi Weinberg was Mifter, and happiness was a very important aspect of his thought. So I once heard him tell a story. There was a guy, the guy is complaining. Oh yeah, he's always catching with this and this and that. So take out a piece of paper, right? And write down all the things that you feel you're missing in your life. So he says he doesn't have the money he would want, doesn't have the covet he would want, whatever. He wrote down a list of things. And the next said, okay, I'll write down the things that you do have. So you have 2 eyes, right? You have 2 ears, you have 2 legs, you have 2 arms, etc. I mean, in other words, the things you have, right? But let me point out something very interesting. I think along these lines. We always value the things that are in the vast scheme of things not really important, right? Whereas a diamond, right, is more precious than a pair of shoes. Correct? Right? But if you had a choice in life, right, of going barefoot the rest of your life or having a diamond, right, you'd be crazy to take the diamond. Shoes are more necessary than a diamond. Not having a diamond will not make a massive difference in your quality of life. But not having shoes will. Right? Even though that diamond, you can buy 1,000 pair of shoes. Exactly. Right? But shoes are more important. We always give the highest value to things because of their rarity, which really are not so important in our lives. Okay? What's more important to us, freedom or life itself?
Freedom. American issue. An American issue.
Life itself.
Right? See, Pesach.
Without life, then you can't be.
Pesach, you're celebrating freedom. On Purim, you're celebrating life. That's what it says.
Give me liberty or give me death.
Yeah, I understand. But the point is that most people say, well, why? I'm going to celebrate being alive? Everybody's alive.
Not everyone's alive.
Right, I was saying, in other words, that's not special. Being free is special. But being alive, we have to learn to appreciate the fact that we're alive. You're alive, that's happy.
I think of the example.
Yisachar Fan once told the story that he went into a store and he saw the storekeeper was very happy, right? So he asked him, "You look so happy. Why are you so happy?" So he says, "Because I'm alive." So he says, "Tell me the story." So he says he was scheduled to go on a certain flight that crashed, and he missed the flight, and he was saved. And from that time on, right, he's happy that he's alive. Because most of us never have such experiences, so therefore the fact we're alive, we should be happy because I'm alive. Right? That's the one that says Purim is the celebration that we're happy to be alive.
Why not tefillah? So we always install for the Yeshiva Mitzrayim type of geula for the better, and that. I mean, there are tefillahs that are.
Because we want it all. Of course we want it all. Right? If we can have everything, right, life and freedom and everything, like Tzaddok says, moves from the shikua legamri. Of course we want that, right? But in the meantime, wherever we are, we're alive. That's why, say you meet a Ben Torah on Purim, right? And they'll tell you, I'm going to tell you a vart, right? And this word is mamish, like the essence of Purim, right? He says, okay, good, let me hear it. And he tells us, fetch the varts and like chayt and like, and now you can celebrate Purim, right? So, to me, this is funny. What do you want to celebrate Purim? What the Torah says, the fact you're alive. The fact you're alive.